could be.
Everything, yeah, that's very
Mhm.
true. Everything plays a role. How you socialize with people, how you develop your norms, your values. What happens when you have certain values, certain norms, certain roles, and another individual has probably not opposite, but different norms, values, and probably roles in the society? What happens? Is there a conflict? Is there a way to mediate? Is there a way to blend, to make a mixture of these different behaviors, comportamientos, right?
Yes.
What happens when you have some values and another person has different values and you encounter him or encounter her? What happens?
I think we could mediate some, but also it depends for the context. Imagine that the one stranger, one people of another stranger country, goes to your house and start with one behavior very strange and very molesto, ¿cómo se dice?
Upsetting.
Upsetting. Okay.
Yes,
And very upsetting. You will gonna to
expel him probably,
spell him. What is the meaning of spell him, teacher?
expulsarlo, right? I don't know. I'm just joking. It's a
Could
joke.
be. It depends for the severity of his behavior, but pedir, ¿cómo sería, teacher?
What word?
Pedir,
Ask.
ask. Okay, okay. Yes, you could ask for explain the things that what are the normal behavior. We need to understand the another people, no? If the another country that they comes, could be very normally this kind of behavior, and we could understand. And also, if we go to another country, we could make some things that could be appear groseras. ¿Cómo sería groseras, teacher?
Gross, appear gross
Gross.
or
Yes, appear
rude,
gross.
rude or gross. Yes.
So I think that we need have the one mentality, ¿no? Ponerse en los lugares del otro.
To stay in the shoes of the other.
Yes, staying in the shoes of the other.
That's very true. That's very true. Okay, well, that's a very interesting topic that sociology talks about. And some of the agents of socialization, family, schools, peer groups, and media, of course, they give you this is
Yes.
good, this is bad, this is the norm, this is what you should do, and this is what you shouldn't do, right? They tell us that in the family, in the school, this is correct, this is good manners, this is bad manners,
Mhm.
everywhere, right? Uh, Okay, very good. Let's continue, please. Social institutions, please. Please, can you read that, please?
Okay, social institutions major structures in society that fulfill essential functions. Institutions include family, education, religion, government, and the economy.
Right. You have different groups, right? The Boy Scouts, for example. You have the Rotary Club. You have lots of groups or
Yes.
institutions that exert a certain influence.
Mhm.
Um, which do you think are the most important institutions and why, Luis, in your opinion?
But the most important institutions are about what, teacher? I think that it depends, no? Maybe the most important institutions for me is different at the most important institutions for the el bien común,
Commonwealth.
commonwealth, yeah.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Well, let's suppose that in a society like Mexico,
Mhm.
which institution do you find most credible, most reliable, most respectable of all the institutions
Yeah,
in general? Of course, it's a very general question.
yes. Uh, I think that possibly this is the. I consider myself very ignorant on this topic. I could know some institutions in Mexico, but I don't know how are his efficiency, his honesty, his values. I don't really sure if I could say one institution, but I don't know if these institutions are very responsible of only have a big name. No?
Oh, I see. I see. For example, I'm sure that you, similar to me, we respect the church religion, right? Because we are
Yes.
raised Catholics. We
Mhm.
are, well, I think you're Catholic, right?
No, yes, yes.
And I am, me too. And also, we attend the service of church. We go to church every Sunday. Well, I don't always go, but sometimes. We respect family because for us, family is a very strong family is a very strong society. I have respect for the military, probably because my grandfather was a military doctor. But in general, I see that most people have respect for certain institutions, and other people have respect for different institutions. Many people respect the government, many others despise the government.
Mhm.
They
Yes.
so you despise them, you respect them, respect or despise, right?
How is one? Uh-huh.
Is the opposite, uh,
Yes.
right? You have a low esteem is despise, right? And why not you or me, but why people despise the government? Other people, very few, not many, very few, despise the church. Uh, I think most people, if not all people, respect the family. Why? Why this difference in the feelings of people towards institutions, please?
Okay. Your question is for why the people despise some institutions like the family or like the church, no?
Despise or respect. I mean,
Despise.
you and I respect the family. You and I respect the church. Uh, I don't know how much you appreciate or respect the government. I do, but of course they give motives not to. They do wrong things, right? They
Yes,
make mistakes.
yes.
So why people respect or despise some institutions in general?
Okay. If we could talk so general, I think that, for example, the part of the respect is for the like education topic. Imagine that, and even if the people don't have education, I think that the people don't have necessity to talk bad about his own family or his community of his church.
Exactly.
um, if the people are indifferent, I think that the people don't talk about. I think that when people are the spies, the people on this case don't be indifferent. The contrario, ¿cómo sería de contrario, teacher?
On the contrary,
Or on the contrary, yes, because you for staying talking bad about one thing, you need to staying interesting of this thing and have one problem with this thing on this institution. For example, if I talk about bad about my family, I obviously have one problem with my family. Or if I talk bad about my church or my religion or my government, is because I have one specific problem with these institutions. But I think that the respect is only, I think, for education.
okay, that's a very interesting comment. Really, we can say, yeah, and then you can break it down. For example, I have a big respect for the family,
Mhm.
and my mom, my dad, my brothers are fantastic people in my opinion, and I respect them, right? But I have a cousin, a distant cousin over there, you know. So
Yes.
if I start making a detailed analysis, maybe the same is going to happen with the government or with the economy or with this or with that, right?
Mhm.
There will be exceptional cases that give a little stain, una manchita, a little stain to the soup, right, or to the painting,
Mhm.
right, to the canvas. You have the canvas where you paint. You have your Da Vinci paintings, and there will be a little stain, una manchita, right? Maybe in the government, maybe here or there. Okay, but well, we are talking about the same thing. Let's talk about, Luis, let's talk about culture, please.
Culture,
What can you
yes.
see?
Culture, the shared beliefs, behaviors, norms, values, and symbols in a society, cultural diversity, subcultures, and cultural change are key aspects.
Key aspects, right?
Yes.
So, do you think we have a big variety of cultures in Mexico, or is monocultural, just one or two types of culture? But normally, is it going to be monocultural, or will have different ingredients, many ingredients, Luis?
Okay. Mm. I'm going to base my opinion on this description of the culture to facilitate the thing. This paragraph say that the culture shared beliefs, behaviors, norms, values, and symbols. I want to separate this list on belief, on behaviors, on norms, on values. I think that, for example, the behaviors, it could be we could saw different behaviors on regado en todo nuestro country.
Okay,
Esparcido. ¿Cómo sería esparcido, teacher?
scattered,
Scattered. Yes.
Sca-
Scattered.
scattered.
Scattered. Okay. And for example, the beliefs. I think that the beliefs, if we stay talking about their religion, I think that if we sacamos estadísticas, ¿cómo sería sacar, teacher?
Take
Yes, sorry.
statistics.
Takes statistics, we could found, for example, the Catholic, the Christians, the ateos, the agnosticisms, Mormon, some religions like that, ¿no? You know?
Right, yes.
¿Qué pasa? Están en mi cuarto. Están en mi cuarto por mi buró y si no están ahí, están abajo por la mesa. Sorry, teacher, sorry.
No problem, no problem.
Yes, and also with the values, I think that the values it could be very general. For example, I think that on all the states of the country, and even I want to, ¿cómo sería atreverme, teacher?
There,
There,
there.
there.
Dare. I dare to say,
Okay. Yes, I want to dare to say that on every country, on every city, on every part of the world, we could found the value that the son of two parents need should to respect the parents. No,
yes, of course, of
I
course.
think that this value it could we could call like universal on.
Universal value. It makes sense. Universal values are universal. Yeah, I agree with you.
For example, and we could talk this like is the culture of the humanity, no, to be for be very general. But I
Absolutely.
think that this concept of culture that have one list of many things, of many categories, we could separate and one part of this list we could be very, ¿cómo se diría? Ay, perdón.
Extense or short.
Los dos teacher strength and short, o sea,
Okay, all right.
yes, strength and short categories inter these own categories.
Okay, it makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yes,
So you wanna break down, which is desglosar,
yes, mhm.
the list, probably, right? You wanna break
Yes,
down
the
the
list
list
to analyze,
to analyze it.
to analyze
Absolutely.
it. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a very interesting concept, very interesting situation.
Mhm.
Now, do you see a big cultural change in some key aspects? For example, I see it. I see it. When I was your age,
Uh-huh.
no student said bad words in front of an adult, much less in front of a teacher. In when I was, how old are you? 16, 17?
17.
17. When I was 17, I was in preparatory
Mhm.
in Leon. And would you could say bad words, but with your friends. Ah, mama, this, yes, way, etc., etc., etc. Right
Yeah.
in your friends. If an older person, the father or the mother of a student, approached, you change your language.
Yes.
You didn't say big, big, big words. No, absolutely not. The teachers much less. No bad words in front of a teacher. So you're saying, oh, this is bad words. And then a teacher is coming. Oh, you change the language.
Yeah.
When I was your age,
Mhm.
now I see bad words and the teacher is next to you 1 meter away. No, son of a gun and this and that. Oh,
Mhm.
you can say, how can this be? Right?
Yes.
I see that. A big
Yes.
change
I
in
also
this
see
aspect.
that.
Yes. I don't know if you notice it, but I notice it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awful. But there have also been very positive changes, also, right? For example, when I was your age,
Hmm.
a person could be sitting, a young kid could be sitting in the bus, in the seat of a bus, and an ancient person, an old person, got in, and he wouldn't wake up. And now, most of the times, 80%, 90%, the young kid will wake up and leave the seat to the older man.
Hmm.
So there's been changes and evolution of values and
Yes.
evolution of situations. What do you think about this, Luis?
Yes, I agree with these ideas. But I think that these changes are on general.
Yes.
We don't talk about the change are bad or the change are good or better
Yes.
than
Yes.
another times. I
Yes.
think that the generations adapt to his time. And we could see this thing more on the youngers. For example, it could be totally agree that all the youngers on the preparatory talk with bad words on all the time. It could be possible, and it could be exist one social pressure that the another people want digo, have one kind of needed, no, or they could feeling like should need to encajar on the in turn with another guys.
Fit.
um
People need to fit,
yes, to
fit
fit,
in.
like encajar.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yes, to fit in on his social circle, no.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And also I have I think that the on another times the values that they have could be for example on all the generations, uh, maybe the values adapt that the people adapt his values with the, for example, things that the parents and his the values of his parents, no, we could sound like an reflect. For example, if your parents don't like that you eating with the open mouth, your behavior normally is trying to adapt a customer to all the time eating with the closed mouth, no. And
Absolutely.
I think that is a topic with the adapt. But I see one another but very important contribution to the this change. It's like with the technology, and I think that is it could be the better example. Um, on with these new generations, the technology adapt to the technology is very easy that we born, and that yeah already exist the phones, the computers, on my case the video games, the all the cars also, no?
Yes. 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 Yes.
And it's very normally to us. But for example, I could saw my mom with his phone, and I gonna to saw that my mom could ¿cómo se dice tardar, teacher?
Last.
Yes, could last 10 minutes with only send one message, you know, for example.
Last. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, but I understand all of this now on his generation with on his ¿cómo sería etapa, teacher?
Stage.
yes, with her stage, stage of adapting to to her environment. Um,
Surroundings.
yes, okay, to her surrounding, she don't have this necessity, you know, to on his surrounding doesn't see the phones to, and she don't have this necessity, you know.
She doesn't have. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, that's very, very, very interesting, Luis. Let's move on to. Thank you for your comment. Very, very wise. Let's go to social stratification. Can you
Yes.
please go ahead and read it and
Mhm.
discuss it?
Social stratification, the division of society into hierarchical,
Yeah.
uh,
Hierarchical layers.
hierarchical
Yes, perfect. Hierarchical.
hierarchical like layers based on, on factors like class, race, gender, and income. Focus on inequality, social mobility, and power.
Right. Do you agree that there are different social stratas in society? There are
Mm,
divisions.
I don't know how you say, teacher.
Yeah, hierarchical layers, capas jerárquicas
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
based on class, right? Upper class, middle class, lower class, based on race, right? The
Hmm.
white skins, the dark skins, the Negro or black,
Yeah,
the
okay.
Asians, that's race. Gender, male and female. Well, now you have the binary and some 20,000 combinations. And income. If you make a lot of money, you make needing money, you make little money.
Ah, okay, yes.
And this happens in society. Do you notice this?
Yes, yes, I think that this pass, yes.
This happens, right? This is very
This
evident.
happens. Mhm.
Okay. Um, then the social stratification focus on inequality, right? This is fair, this is unfair. This is just, this is unjust.
Okay.
This is perfect, this is bad. This is terrible, etc., etc.
Mhm.
Inequality. If do you see our society very unequal, or do you see the society is more or less stable, more or less even, uh, a lot of
Unequal,
solidarity?
like inequitativo?
Inequality, yeah, yeah, unequal, yes, exactly.
Unequal.
Unequal or equal? You see unequal society or unequal? How do you see it in general terms? Equal or unequal? How do you see society in general?
Of I'm inclined more for the unequal, teacher.
Unequal. In what do you see this?
Mm,
In class, in race, in gender, in income, in work
in-
opportunities, in
income is like ingreso, no?
ingreso, right? Yes.
Yeah, for example, could be, no, if you have more income, your sons could study on better schools with better education. They could eat better food, better all, no. For
Yeah, yeah, that's
example,
true. Yeah. And you see that the difference between the top layer and the bottom layer is very significant, or is not very significant? Not very separate, or are they extremely separate, very unequal, very uneven? How do
with
you see?
what layer? What do you see,
Yeah,
teacher?
the layers, the top layers, the layer that is the uppermost layers, the one that is above.
Layer is light, teacher.
Layer is capa.
Ah,
The
sorry.
top
Okay.
social layer
Mhm.
or the bottom social layer, the one that is at the very beginning, in ground zero,
Yeah.
or level 10. Do you see a big difference between 0 and 10, or is
Yes,
not?
I see big difference.
For example, what is the difference between the income of a governor and the income of a farmer?
um, the opportunities, the house, the schools, the all of the benefits. No,
Yes,
yes, I saw. It's very sad, but I think that is a reality that it goes to see a lot of muy marcado, no?
very marked, very noticeable,
Yes.
very noticeable.
I think that this is a very interesting topic. I don't know how could be the value? I don't know. What do you think, teacher? What could be the value to... ¿cómo decirlo? Es que no sé en inglés. Este, the parameter to value the real income, o sea, el verdadero valor de las cosas, ¿no?
Okay, that's a great concept. The true value of things.
Yes, and about the money, you think that could be the esfuerzo or
Effort.
effort or the intelligence word or the work like what more apport? I don't know.
Provides the most in terms of what? In terms of you can provide a lot of, but in terms of what is very general.
Mhm.
You want to, I mean, you want, if when you work, you want to provide an output because then it is a world of inputs and outputs. Input is the effort, the energy, the raw materials, the labor, and the output is the product or the service. The service. What is the output of a doctor? Well, the prescription. The doctor gives you a medical prescription. What is the output of an architect? Well, the output of an architect is a draft or a
Oh,
map or a design,
mhm.
correct? What is the output of a teacher? Well, the lessons, the experiences, the motivation, different things, right?
Yes.
So you have inputs. What is the output of a student? Well, an output, paradoxically, not paradoxically, but it's not, it should be knowledge, but some parents consider that it's not knowledge. It is the grade, the mark.
Yes.
You
Uh-huh.
should get a 10 or a 9. That's the output. Whereas in other academies, in other institutions, in other cultures, is the knowledge. How much do you know about biology? How much do you know about philosophy, Luis? How much do you know about different topics? That's the
Okay.
output, right?
So the outputs are, it's like the results.
The results, exactly, exactly. And the input is the effort that you put into an
Oh,
activity,
okay. Mhm.
right? So you see a big difference in, for example, in the society between the top class and
Mhm.
the bottom class. You see more benefits for certain races than for other races. You see more benefits for men or for women than for the opposite gender. How do you see society in general terms, Luis?
Uh, General terms, okay, yes, I see big difference, but I think that the difference don't are so bigger. And for example, when with one man and one woman, than the lower class and the higher class. I think that on this case of the economy, the difference is we could observe more easily.
Okay, so you notice it more in the upper class. There is a bigger difference between the upper and lower class than in gender difference, right?
Mhm.
It is more noticeable. Okay, very good. So we're talking in general, very general terms, please. But thank you for your comment. Let's see number 5, please.
Yes. Race and ethnicity. Social constructions of race and how is this word, teacher?
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity, but what is his meaning?
The meaning is if you belong to a certain ethnic group, like the Hispanic, pre-Hispanic, Mayan, Asian,
Ah,
Saxon, Slavic, etc.
okay. Social construction of a race and ethnicity and their impact on identity, opportunity, and social relations. Racism, discrimination, and ethnicity,
Ethnicity. Ethnicity.
ethnicity based inequalities.
All right. What do you think about this?
Mm, but okay, yes, I think that we could talk. We could say that also these spaces, no, on discrimination could be staying also remarked, but I don't know a lot of cases to talk about.
Okay. But you notice it sometimes occasionally or very seldom, very rarely, not very often.
I imagine that are occasionally, but for only for imagine.
Okay, very good. All right, let's go to number six, please. Gender and sexuality.
Okay, gender and sexuality. The study of gender roles, gender inequality, and the social construction of gender and sexuality. Feminism, masculinity, LGBTQ plus issues and in intersectionality.
Okay, I believe that there is a right for any person to choose the religion. I cannot choose my race because that is given by my genetics, right?
Yes.
I can choose my ideology, although it is more or less enforced by my family. When I was a kid, they told me, you should do this, you should work, you should learn, you should study. They told me lots of things, right? They instilled their ideology in myself. You
Yes.
can choose, but sometimes I don't know. What's your opinion about the promotion or publicity that this topic has given? My personal feeling is that it is valid. It is absolutely legitimate. It's perfectly legitimate. But I think it should be private. Should not be discussed too much because it's private. It's like well, you go to the bathroom. What do you do in the bathroom? Well, that's private,
Yes.
right? I mean, I don't want to give details. Why? Because it's private.
Yes.
I go to bed. What do you do in bed? Well, I snore. Well, really, very loud or very low? Well, that's private.
Yes, I agree with this. I don't see a lot of necessity to discuss a lot of this topic, but I think that the thing that happened that for the people discuss maybe the problems or of discrimination, no? Could be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I have never been discriminated in
No,
any job
no. Mhm.
or in anything because I snore, porque ronco. Nobody has told me, well, your wife told me that you snore, so I'm going to pay you less. How do you know if it's private, right?
Yes.
I mean, why discriminate something that is private? Because people should not even know to begin with. I
Yeah.
mean, uh, I passed the soap, the jabón, 3 times for my head. Oh, really? Well, the standard is 4 times. Wait a second. This is private,
Yes.
right? Or what do you think?
No, yes, I agree. But also, I think that, for example, I have one friend that this him consider himself part of this community,
Right.
but him suffer a lot because his father think that all the people on this community, ¿cómo me dijo? Nunca debieron de existir, algo así. Never.
Should never exist.
Yes, should be never exist. And my friend have this suffer on his family, no, and
Mm.
him don't know how do you do to find the correct words to express this opinion. I for this side of the problem, I think that for this happen these discussions, no, but
Well,
also I
yeah,
think that the discussions are a lot. Very
too much.
popular discussions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe excessive. Well, but you're right. You mentioned something very important. Recently, I have a female cousin, and she is a widow now. Her husband died 3 years ago
Mhm.
from a family which is very famous in Leon. And a cousin to this man had a son who belonged to this group.
Mhm.
The kid was, I don't know, well, I think was 30. He was already married. He was 30, 35. The young man was married. The young man, but he was homosexual. And the mother gave him problems every day, 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 day.
Yes.
Even if he was married, he was forced to get married because his intention was not to get married to a woman, but the social pressure forced him to get married. Well, to make the long story short, he committed suicide. And to this day, it's a very famous case. This happened like 15, 20 years ago. But even to this day, people discuss, oh, remember that person? Yes, yes, the mother. Yeah, the mother hated his behavior.
Yeah.
She did not accept it, the mother. And she was constantly pushing on him, pushing him for this, picking on him until he finally committed suicide. You say, well, that's a terrible story because the man was a good guy, was a good kid, was a good
Yes.
person. But why did he have to resolve like that? So, well, yeah, I accept your comment, Luis. It's very true. It's true. It's under discussion because there are problems, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's continue. It's an interesting topic. Sociology is incredibly interesting.
Yes. Okay, the social change. How societies evolve over time through innovation, revolution, reform, or gradual changes. Focus on factors like technology, social movements, and globalization.
Right. Do you think our society is changing a lot, or is changing little by little and slowly? What do you think, Luis?
It's changing a lot, but little by little. So I think that the society for the step of the time it goes to change a lot, but I think that the changes are little by little, each day each change, but I think that these mass of changes are a big change of the society on the society.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. What have you seen in terms of innovation, revolution, some reforms? For example, you were talking about the LGBTQ plus. There have been reforms to the law, right?
Mhm.
Gradual changes. What changes have you seen? Innovations, revolutions, reforms. What have you seen as examples?
It's innovations revolution. I for example, an innovation could be the technology, and
Mhm.
the revolution could be the movements like the past movements, not feminism, masculinity, LGBT, these kinds of revolutions could be.
Yeah, yeah, there are movements, massive movements in the
Mhm.
streets, right?
On the topic of gradual changes, I imagine on the education that it changed a lot with the step of the time, no, with a little by little gradual changes. No?
That is true. That is true. Do you believe the society is becoming more open, more liberal, or is becoming more strict, more conservative?
I think more open, but also I don't really sure if be more open. I don't think that on all the cases is better than be conservative.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't discuss. Some of them may be good, some others are
Mhm.
arguably better, some others are arguably worse. People can always debate, have debates about if this is better, if it's for the better, or if it's for the worse. But that's what takes us to number 8, defiance and social control. Let's take a look at this number 8. Luis, please, can
Yes.
we?
Deviance and social control, the study of behaviors that violate societal norms and how societies respond to such behaviors. Theories of crime, punishment, and the role of law in maintaining social order.
Okay, well, I see, and probably you agree with me, that there is absolutely no social order now. This is complete uh, disaster, I would say, in terms of order, social order. There are crimes right and left. There seems to be no control. Uh, I mean, just take a look at Sinaloa, for example. Take a look at Guerrero. Take a look at other states. What is happening in your opinion? What is happening? Is this getting out of control, or what?
Um, Maybe the people that control this it involves more negligence, and the people that affect break these orders is with the step of the time more people, no? Maybe for the necessity, no? Tal vez por necesidad.
Could be. Yeah, but then let me ask you another question. Is who is in charge? ¿Quién está a cargo?
The government could be.
The government. Yeah, but what part of the government? Because the government is very broad. The military, the police, who is in charge of maintaining the social order?
On the part of the insecurity of the crimen, I maybe
Crime.
the military and the police, no?
The military and the police. And do you see they are doing a good job? I am sure that is very difficult, but is it possible that we go back to a peaceful country, a society in which we don't have to be worried every moment, every second, everywhere we go?
Mhm.
Do you
I
think those
think
times will come back?
I think that it's possible, but I don't think that this thing is gonna to happen. Well, could be possible, yes, but I don't think that this happen. I think that the people are accustomed to this insecurity, and the people that cause this insecurity also are accustomed to the police are negligence and don't. I don't want to say that don't make nothing. I don't want to say this, but they don't make the correctly things to stop all of these people. No.
So let me ask you another question. Are we normalizing violence? Is this becoming part of everyday situations? Are we normalizing violence?
Yes, I think that we normalizing the violence.
And what can we do? Because I don't think this is a positive thing.
No, no, no.
So
Mm,
how can we contribute without being in risk? I mean, I can open up a channel and start denouncing things, right? But that is probably a stupid decision on my side, because if I start open a YouTube channel, I start denouncing crimes here, crime there, pretty soon they're gonna find me and shoot me, right?
yes, it's very sad thing. Well, to a part of this situation, I don't really sure. I don't see a lot of things that we could make a part to the news, no? But also on some cases the news it could be dangerous.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that leads us to a moral question. Should we denounce crimes? Should we
Yes,
denounce crimes? Yes.
yes. I also think that we should denounce the crimes, but also we need to have this common sense to
Right.
denounce on secret, no, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is
Yeah.
common sense. Exactly. All right. But then we agree that there is a lot of defiance and there is a lack of social control. We are not controlling the society in this moment. It seems to be totally out of control,
Mhm.
apparently, right? Well, that is a topic of sociology as well. Let's talk about health and society, Luis, please.
Yes, health and society. The relationship between health, illness, and society. Medical sociology explores healthcare systems, disparities, and social determinants of health.
All right. Do you have access to the Social Security?
Sorry, I have what?
Access,
Access?
access, access. Yes, to the Social Security or to ISTE or to INS.
Mm, okay.
I'm sure that you are a healthy person, that you are saludable, right? That you are healthy. But let's say another student, do they have access to the Social Security?
Um, I want to think. I want to think that yes, they have the access, but also I think that the people like with my age, it's very ignorant on this topic. If we don't have this necessity, and also for that we don't know this information, but I imagine that yes, we have the access, no?
Absolutely, yes, because you are a student An institute Irapuato has a policy in which the students must, by obligation, have access to a medical institution.
Yes.
In addition, that your dad or your mom or probably both have social insurance, most probably yes, because if your dad is a full-time worker, he has social insurance, and consequently, the family has access to the medical care. That is very important. Now, you said something very important too. You mentioned that you are young and you don't get ill very often. Thank God, right? Nor
Yeah.
you, nor Mitch, nor Mickey. You are healthy people, so you don't visit the hospitals every week, right?
Yes.
Which is great. But there are people who are not healthy, people who have
Mhm.
diseases or problems, and they have to go to a medical doctor or to an institution, and not everyone has access.
Yes.
So there are also health disparities here. There are
Maybe all the people have the access or for the basic, no, basic thing, but for one specific operation, I don't know.
right now there are many disparities in health in the society, and one day you will notice. Hopefully, you will always have access. That's fantastic. But other people, not all the people have access. One day, well, Instituto Irapuato used to organize when my daughters Sophie and Minerva were at Instituto.
Mhm.
Well, it's Minerva basically. Sophie didn't go. Sophie went to another school. But
Okay.
Minerva, my daughter, they organized these lunches. They made lots of tortas and hamburgers and took them to the people, to the hospitals that were waiting in line for their patients. And that was very nice. That was a social service that Instituto used to do. I don't know if they still do it, but it was very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's health and society. Let's talk about urbanization and population, Luis, please, can we?
Yes, urbanization and population, the study of cities, urban life, and the effects of population growth and migrations. Issues. What is the meaning of issues, teacher?
Temas.
Ah, okay. Issues like housing, transportation, and environment impact.
Okay, how important do you think these topics are?
Mm, the topic like the transportation and environment impact.
Yeah, and housing too.
Housing. What is the meaning of housing, teacher?
Like a shelter, like albergues, like tener casa. For
Ah.
example, you see the people under the bridge, the people that come from Central America by train,
Mhm.
right? They don't, well, there are housing systems in Irapuato. They have shelters, albergues for people, but they don't want to take advantage of that. Apparently, they prefer to sleep under the bridge than going to a shelter.
Okay.
But you see that the municipality, the city hall, gives them food. They just put in bathrooms, and from time to time they spray them with what is this spray? Anti-infectious diseases gases.
Mm.
So they take care of those immigrants. I think that is a very nice behavior of the government, of the municipal government, that
Mhm.
they take care of those people who are under the bridge. You have seen them, right?
O sea, de que gente, ay,
The
that the,
immigrants, the immigrants that come from Central America or South America, in the bridge, in el puente, under the bridge.
ajá, las personas debajo del puente. Yes,
Right. You have seen them, right? Las
yes,
has visto.
yes. Mhm.
Okay. Well, they are there. So
Mhm.
they don't have housing, but they have access to a shelter. Tienen acceso to a shelter, a un albergue. But
Ah, okay.
why they don't use it, I don't know.
Maybe these people had one purpose, no? Maybe to travel or maybe
Could be.
to end on another place.
Could be. Maybe they are over there temporarily, and then they're gonna go to the train again. Maybe to go to the north. Could be, right?
Mhm. Or maybe the albergs,
Shelters.
sorry, the shelters staying on very bad conditions. Could be.
Could be too. Could be too. Yes. And they say, well, I prefer to be here.
Yes,
There may be many things.
better nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about family and relationships as well, Luis, please, which is part of sociology.
Family and relationships. The society of family. examines marriage, parenthood, kinship, and changing family structures. Topics like divorce, cohabitation, and same-sex relationships are also explored.
Right. So these are the topics that sociology study. Why some families get disrupted, why some families are very strong and belong for decades, for generations, right?
Mm,
So family and relationships is a topic that sociology investigates and studies. So it's really, really complete, right? It
yeah.
should be a very beautiful career, a very beautiful topic to study and do research,
Mhm.
right? Okay, very good. Let's do number 12, please.
Yes, social movements and collective behavior. The dynamics of social movements, revolutions, protests, and collective action. Theories on why and how groups mobilize for social change.
Right. Like you have demonstrations, right? Demonstration is una movilización.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
And another topic which is also very, very important is work and economy. Let's take a
Okay.
look at this, please.
Yes, work and economy. The Society of Work examines labor markets, employment, and unemployment, and workplace dynamics, focus on capitalism's globalization and the changing nature of work.
All right. What do you think about this? How sociology examines how markets behave if there is a big employment or big unemployment, if there is a fluctuation from one area, for example, from agriculture, they move to the automobile industry or vice versa.
Okay.
What have you seen in these terms, Luis?
Mm, for example, what happen if the sector of agriculture goes to the sector of technology, for example?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good example. Yes.
I don't really sure. Maybe it could be exist a lot of confusions, a lot of falta, ¿cómo se dice, teacher?
Lack.
A lot of like of knowledge, and this could be difficult. The things, not the actions.
Right. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Well, this topic that talks about work and economy, they focus on the economical systems. How good or how bad can capitalism be for society in general? If we require a more socialistic or socialism system, what type of alternatives we have? If there are social changes that we need to implement. So the economic system is also at state at analysis. So sociology also examines the economical systems from the sociological aspect. What happens with the people who have very low payment, right? What happens when there is a big disparity in the income or in the salaries?
Uh-huh.
Should that be regulated or not? What do you think? Do you believe, if let's say that you are the Secretary of Labor in Guanajuato, right? And
Okay.
Luis was designated by the governor as the Secretary of Labor.
Mhm.
Would you establish certain regulations in the salaries in the companies or in the government as well?
Maybe it could be more justice, but I don't make this because I believe that I could made a lot of problems with the industries that imagine I want that on the industry of the coca, for example. I want that the people that empaqueta,
Pack.
yes, that pack the products, have the same salary of the people that are the directors of the plants. I know that the industry is gonna to involve so a lot of yes, it's gonna to se pondría en contra uno, ¿no?
Will be against you.
Against. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you are the Secretary of Labor, just under the governor. You are the second to the governor. You are the Secretary of Labor.
Yeah, but
You
that's,
dictate the laws, you make the laws, and you enforce and you give regulations to the companies about labor.
yes, but imagine that this industry is saying to sell this thing that I want to make. Maybe this industry could say that, oh, okay, put my industry, my plant, or mi planta of industry on Guanajuato. It don't convenient to me, and I need to put in another place, no? That because in Guanajuato wants to I pay the same salary to all my employments.
No, not necessarily that they pay the same, but give some guidelines, some regulations. For example, that they treat the workers okay, that they give them fair vacation and fair benefits, fringe benefits. You can, I mean, is the role, don't you think that it is the role of the Secretary of Labor or the government to protect also the workers? Yeah, the companies come and hit the table with the hand, this and that, the companies, right? But then what is the function of the government? Who's going to protect the workers?
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yes, yes, I agree, but I'm very ignorant. I don't really sure if what could be the relations now on the industry, what could be the these discrepancies on the lower employment and the highest director on one industry. But I think that it could be important construct the or no to balance the to balance this difference, no.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you. All right, Luis, thank you very much. Let's go to the last two topics, education and globalization. Let's see education, please.
Okay, education, the role of education in society, including how it reproduces or challenges social inequalities, topics like the hidden curriculum, education attainment, and access to education.
Yeah, you were saying a few minutes ago that getting a good education normally depends on a good salary of the workers, of the parents, right? The father or the mother of the family. If they get good money, they can probably send the kids to good institutions and give them good education. Um, what do you think about uh, the role of education? What is the role of education? Why do people go to school?
¿Por qué la gente va a la escuela?
Yeah, why do people go to school and get an education in society? Why is that important?
I think that, for example, the students go to obligation of his parents, and the parents to the kid learn the and know things to uh, to found the work that they dream, for example. And for that, the kids need to prepare now to arrive on this work. I think that maybe the students go to the school for this reason, but I also think that the society the students go to the school only for the customer, no.
Uh,
All the people go to school.
okay, okay, all right. Well, that's a very interesting comment. Not everyone has access to education, right? Access to education is more or less limited, or you think it's totally open in our society?
Maybe it could be casi.
Almost.
Yes, almost totally open, almost. For it exists a lot of public schools, but also I think that staying the families that the youngers needs to work to apoyar, ¿cómo se dice, teacher?
Support.
Yes, to support the family, because the family don't mm, don't survive with his own salary for his own, no.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The access to education is a very interesting and controversial topic. Some people believe that the access to education is universal, and some people claim that it is not so evident.
Yeah.
So there is this duality in the concepts, Luis. All right. Thank you very much. The last concept, globalization. What do you think? What does it say?
Okay, globalization, increasing interconnectedness of societies, economies, and cultures across the world. Impact on identity, culture, and social inequalities.
Yeah. Do you think that watching international TV can change or modify or give a little variation to your identity? It
To
can
my
exert certain influence or not?
Yes, the influence, yes, totally agree, and don't only with me. I think with the all the people in the world.
Yeah, of course, yes, yes.
For the estereotypes, ¿cómo se dice estereotipos, teacher?
Stereotypes. Yeah,
Este-
absolutely.
Stereotypes, the modas, the
Fashion.
standards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, a lot of things.
And what is the media through which you get all this information, all these stereotypes? Is it magazines, media, social media, TV, newspapers? How do we get these stereotypes, this fashion, these standards? Who imposes or influences on the stereotypes, fashion, and standards, Luis?
On this part of the history, on this time, I think that the most big media is the red socials.
The social networks, right?
Yes, with a lot of advantage.
Yeah, I believe I agree with you. Yeah, it was not like this in my times, but with the development of internet and the social media, now the networks play the most important role in shaping the stereotypes, fashion, and standards. And consequently, who controls the social media? Well, they control the stereotypes, fashion, and
Yes.
standards. Do you agree? Can we get protected from the ideas of the owners of Facebook, Instagram? They are, I mean, I don't know who the owners are, Zuckerberg or someone else. And he has his own values, his own standards, his own culture. Can we protect ourselves to the from the imposition of say certain stereotypes, fashion and standards, or we are vulnerable?
O sea, como si, like, if these people, it could be protect of this influence.
From protected from the influence of the social network.
I, I don't really sure. I think that they need to have a lot of character and a lot of his fort his strong his convictions, because if it don't be the case, I think that exists a lot of pressure.
Right, exactly. Well, you have strong convictions. I have strong convictions, but not everyone has very strong convictions. Some people hesitate. They say, "Well, is white or black? Should I be a carpenter or should I be a medical doctor? Should I join the organized crime or should I be a police?" Well, it's more or less the same thing. Right? Should
Yeah.
I become a priest in the Catholic Church or should I become a Mormon? I mean, there is a lot of pressure from one group and the other, right?
Yes.
So it's becoming increasingly more and more complex, Luis.
Mhm. And
Very,
very very different.
yeah, exactly. Well, very good, Luis. This is just the beginning of the discussion. It's a very, very interesting topic.
Mhm.
When you have the opportunity, discuss it with your friends or with your brother and sister, with your parents, and see what they think because they're also
Okay.
very smart people. All right.
Yes.
Okay, Luis. Take care and see you. I think next week. Okay.
Okay, okay, teacher. Okay. Thank you very much, teacher. Thank
Take
you.
care. Please enjoy. Have a nice weekend.
Also, goodbye.
Goodbye. Take care. Bye, Luis. See you.